I'm Nick. This is 10 Minutes with Nick. And welcome to episode 101 of 10 Minutes with Nick. Yes, 101, 101. A fresh start, a new beginning, somewhat new beginning. As you can see, I'm back in the chair with the microphone. I am no longer standing. My back is feeling magnificent. It's not just because of I was going to make a drug joke there. I've decided against that. But we have many things to celebrate in this new beginning. Number one, while I am filming episode 101, and as of the time of this recording, I now have 37 subscribers. Yes, precisely 36 more than I ever thought I would have on a 10-minute-a-day podcast. Thank you so much for those of you who have joined in, are choosing to join in, and have subscribed to the YouTube page. You are truly the people who get me out of bed in the morning. That and the other work I do. But thank you from the bottom of my heart. And it is a large heart. I'm told it is a condition, but it is a large heart. I'm kidding. I don't actually have a heart condition that has enlarged my heart. Anybody who actually has an enlarged heart, please forgive me. Anyways, welcome to episode 101. And today, we're going to go 10 minutes on conversation. So I was out and about last night because it is Halloween weekend and I am a single man and it's the only way you meet people. I hung out with some great folks, a couple very cute girls. We'll return to that in a minute. And I had some wonderful conversations and some interesting realizations. First and foremost, this is going to be a little mix of both advice and storytelling and advice on conversation. So we're going to start with advice for the single men out there. First of all, boys, lean in, listen in. Girls, you can take a break for 30 seconds. I'm going to talk to the boys for a minute. Boys, lean in here. Talk to me. Why you so thirsty? Calm your asses down. It's okay. Calm your asses down. Slow your goddamn rolls. If I'm standing next to a girl that you would like to have a conversation with, you don't have to try and come in and literally force me away from her. You don't have to sheepdog the girl to get a conversation. Just introduce yourself. Say hi. That's all you got to do. Worst comes to worst, she tells you to get out of there. But that has never once happened in the history of introducing yourself to someone. I would challenge you to tell me when that has happened outside of a movie. Guys, you don't have to go around trying to sheepdog girls away from their group in order to get a conversation with them. Just start a conversation. Trust me, if she's having a good time in the conversation with you, she will go away with you to have that conversation. How do I know that? Well, because I was with a group. I started a conversation with a girl, and we naturally stepped to the side to have our conversation because we were enjoying the company of each other. And it wasn't even necessarily like I was flirting with this girl. I was. I'm a flirter. I'm a serial flirt. I can't help it. But she was flirting with me too, and so we stepped aside and we had our conversation, and it was lovely. It was a lovely conversation we had. And you know what I didn't have to do? I didn't have to do this weird sheepdogging thing where I shook hands with part of the group she was with and then used that as leverage to try and shepherd her away from the group. Guys, what are you doing? Calm down. I gave advice a while ago that the boys need to be boys, but the boys need to be smarter boys. Anyways, that's the end of my advice for the boys for this episode. That's my segment for the boys. Girls, if you weren't listening, please come back to the table. We'll continue the conversation that's meant for everybody. Now, this is going to mostly be 10 minutes, roughly at this point 6 minutes, on the art of conversation, because as much as we all say and we all complain that the art of conversation is lost, it really isn't. It really isn't lost, and last night gave me a lot of hope that the art of conversation has not been lost to texting. And why do I say that? Because I had many lovely conversations last night. Some conversations while I was two-stepping. It's a dance. Don't worry, it's not a weird thing. It's actually probably one of the most innocent dances out there. But other conversations just happen naturally. Like, it's the art of conversation is not dead. It just requires a little. It requires a little oomph, and that's okay. It always, I think, has required a little oomph. But I have a lot of hope that the art of conversation has not died, because I had a conversation with a nice, very pretty lady, a forensic scientist, and it's not like we said, "Oh, what do you do? I do this. What do you do? I do this." No, because we both could say, "Oh, that's interesting. Follow up on that." That's all conversation is with somebody you don't know. It's just getting to know someone, learning about them, prying into their background a little bit, but not in a weird way. But when you start to just have that conversation, the conversation naturally flows and it gets funnier and it gets more interesting. And that gives me a lot of hope, because at this point it was 1:30 in the morning at a bar. Like, this is the worst place you would think conversation would happen. You would typically think that at this point everybody would be blasted out of their minds and not able to hold a conversation. But as it turns out, more conversation was happening. Now, to the gentleman who I was excoriating before about the way they got into their conversations, I will say this. You also gave me hope that conversation as an art is still alive and well, because while you were being thirsty young men, like you were begging for a drink, you did in fact continue your conversations, and you did an excellent job of pulling up from what was a truly poor entrance dive. You scored in 1 out of 10, a 2 out of 10 on the entrance, but I'll give you an 8 out of 10 on the finish, averaging you out to, a 5 out of 10. You can do better. But that being said, you did well to actually continue the conversations. And why am I so happy that that conversation has not died as an art form? Because it gives me hope in general for humanity as a whole. It means that we still have the ability to connect with each other organically, not on social media, not over text, not I don't know. How do the kids connect these days? By sending vague TikToks? Like, we used to use vague MySpace updates. We would post, Taking Back Sunday lyrics, and we'd let everybody decide if we were like trying to send a message or we just liked Taking Back Sunday. The answer was usually a mix of the two. We were usually sending a message, but we also usually were using Taking Back Sunday because we liked Taking Back Sunday. I've never actually listened to Taking Back Sunday. If Taking Back Sunday happens to be listening, I would love to hear some of your music. I haven't. I would also like to hear some of Blink 182's music. I haven't been to a Blink concert ever. I would love to go. And while we're making wish lists for a concert, Bruce Springsteen, E Street Band. I saw you guys in 2009 in Buffalo, New York. October 2009, Buffalo, New York. You guys were incredible. Would love to go back to another show. Let me know if you want to hook up for this. I'm happy to go, but your tickets are mad expensive, and, well, frankly, I'm a broke actor in Hollywood on strike, so very hard for me to afford those tickets at the moment. Anyways, would love to see shows from any of those people. Taylor Swift, I'm sure, has a lovely show. I just, unless she's going to be playing 1989, that album only, listen, if she's going to play Style Live, I will go for just that song. Can I get a one-song quote, Taylor? Can I get a one-song quote? Anyways, I'm very excited about the future of not just the millennials, but the future of the elder millennials like myself, but the future of the younger millennials as well, because conversation as an art form has not been lost. Granted, I don't know if it's been lost in colleges. I don't know that it's been lost in high school, but I think the death of conversation and the death of organic connection, I can safely say its death was greatly exaggerated, and that should make all of us happy. This has been episode 101 of 10 Minutes with Nick. You like what I said? Like and subscribe. If you didn't like what I said, well, then my conversation is just no good for you, and maybe we should try to organically connect somewhere else. But if you try to sheepdog my podcast away from your delicate ears, I don't know. I tried to land a joke there. It didn't quite work, but you know what? That's okay. I'm Nick. This is 10 Minutes with Nick. Have a great day.